Joel Embiid, of course, you were there last night. He was reportedly sick ahead of last night's game and only made 2 shots last night after the game. It was a topic of discussion. We start with Brett Brown right here.
I got a text from him at 6:20 a.m. this morning telling me like he didn't sleep all night. He'd really never felt this poorly, and he was unsure, Coach, if I'm going to play. I just want to give you a heads up. I'll try, but I don't know. And, you know, with that started my day.
Yeah, he's got to be ready and expecting that. Obviously, he's feeling a little sick today, so that plays into it too. Practice tomorrow. Get ready for the next game.
Okay, I thought Simmons' sound was particularly telling there. What do you take away from what we just heard from both of them about Embiid?
I don't know if I read that much into it. Listen, this is a player who, when he is on the top of his game, is as dominant of a force on both ends of the floor as there is in this league. And you see them when he plays well, they have beaten Toronto yesterday. When he doesn't play well, when he's limited, it still took Toronto to play great down the stretch. Kawhi to hit a big shot to beat them at home. But they need him. This becomes a 2 out of 3 series now. And the way he impacts, especially defensively, around the rim, you've seen the impact he's had in this series. Turned the ball over late yesterday down the stretch. Clearly ran out of gas in the fourth quarter with his illness.
And look, he's dealing with the illness. He's dealing with injury always. It seems to be the common story with Joel Embiid, but he is the crown jewel of the process, Greeny. So what do you guys think about Embiid's performance and the sickness that he's been dealing with?
Well, yeah, and I'm sitting here smiling because it's just every game in the NBA playoffs is a referendum on everything. On Friday morning, we were debating Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson's argument over whether or not Joel Embiid should be considered with the greatest big man of all time.
That was a ridiculous conversation, though.
It wasn't a ridiculous conversation. It was an interesting conversation. This morning, it feels like a ridiculous conversation. You were right, because now we're talking about this. What do we make of this now?
Joel Embiid is a generational talent, but I don't think he has the maturity that you need of a guy that's going to win you a championship right now. There's obviously a lack of maturity. You saw that in game 1. I don't know if I can go or not. Now, let me ask you, anybody here a question? You're a competitor.
Yeah.
Seth, you're a competitor. You guys have been coaches too, Seth. You've been a coach. If I were to text my head coach at 6 a.m. on the day of game 4 of the playoffs, and we're trying to win a championship, to say, I am unsure if I can go or not, Coach. I would never think about doing that. I want to win a championship. I'm going to play this game sick. Now, you can say, let's compare that to Jordan. No, any competitor would try to play this game sick, and I wouldn't report on myself. It also lets me know something that Brett Brown, the head coach, then had a need to come out and tell the media what actually occurred. It lets me know that they're not on the same page. Because I tell you what, if I drop 35 in that game, even if I am sick, Greeny, I'm not going to tell people I'm sick. I'm going to let my legend live on. I'm going to let other people tell the media that I was sick for me.
To me, it was mind-boggling. You know, Joel, when I say it's ridiculous, I say it's ridiculous because Joel Embiid has had times where he's looked like one of the best players potentially in the country. He's done it for a year and a half. Half of the time he's sick, half of the time he's hurt. There's always something with Joel Embiid. Now, his talent, undeniable. When he's playing hard, when he's committed, I got a bigger problem. If you're going to play, then play. Forget about the excuses, kind of what you're saying. If you're going to play, then, dude, you got to play. But the other thing is, if you're going to play, then use him. It's great he can make a 3. It's great he can drive it from the high post. Will you please get him to the left block or in the mid post, throw him the basketball there, and play off a double team? Because that's where he can dominate the game. The three-point line, yeah, he can make a shot. He can drive it. He can dominate the game on the defensive end. He can dominate the game on the block. It blows my mind they don't get him there.
And this team also seems a little bit fractured, right? Like, you know, who's in a boat with who? Is Jimmy Butler with Joel Embiid? Ben Simmons and obviously Joel Embiid. It seems like they make little slights at each other here and there. Ben Simmons on the island. Like, how does this work? Jimmy Butler being an outlier, even though he's been playing at a very high level. What's happened to Tobias Harris? I mean, this team has all the talent. You just wonder if they actually have the cohesion to win it.